You ever notice how some older men walk into a room and women instantly relax around them? Not because he looks like a movie star, not because he's the richest guy there. And honestly, sometimes he's not even the loudest guy in the room. But somehow, women keep looking at him. They laugh harder at his jokes. They lean in closer when he talks. They remember what he said days later. Meanwhile, another guy 10 years younger is over there trying way too hard, flexing his watch, forcing confidence, talking nonstop, and getting absolutely nowhere. That difference right there, most men completely misunderstand it because a lot of guys think attraction is about impressing women. Women usually experience attraction through how a man makes them feel around him, and older men who truly understand that, dangerous. In the best way possible. See, there's this moment a lot of men hit in life where they start believing they're becoming less attractive because they're aging. Hair changes. Energy changes. The body changes. Society keeps screaming that youth is everything. Meanwhile, women are quietly out here obsessing over certain older men like it's a full-time hobby. Why? Because confidence at 25 and confidence at 55 are not the same thing. A younger guy often wants validation. An older man who knows himself, he gives off stability without needing approval. And that energy hits differently. Women can feel when a man is desperate to be chosen, and they can definitely feel when a man already likes his own life. That second one is magnetic. You know what secretly makes women melt? A man who's emotionally calm, not boring, not robotic, calm. There's something unbelievably attractive about a man who doesn't panic every time a woman pulls away slightly. He doesn't triple text. He doesn't spiral because she took 2 hours to reply. He doesn't suddenly turn into an FBI detective because she posted a selfie with another guy in the background. Some men hear confidence and think it means acting dominant all the time. No, that's insecurity wearing sunglasses. Real confidence is relaxed. It's being able to sit there, smile, make eye contact, and not perform like your entire self-worth depends on her approval. And women notice this faster than men realize. You know how some guys try to impress women by talking nonstop about money, achievements, cars, status, business deals? Meanwhile, the older guy sitting quietly in the corner says one calm, funny sentence. And suddenly she's interested in him instead. Because tension is attractive. Mystery is attractive. Emotional self-control is attractive. A man who doesn't desperately need attention often gets the most attention. That's the part nobody teaches men. A lot of women are exhausted by men who constantly try to win them. It feels transactional, predictable, heavy. But when a man is grounded, playful, emotionally steady, and comfortable in his own skin, that feels safe and exciting at the same time. And that combination is rare. Honestly, one of the biggest mistakes men make as they get older is trying to compete with younger men by acting younger. Please stop doing this. Nothing is more powerful than a man who fully owns his age. You don't need to dress like a confused nightclub DJ from 2012. You don't need to force slang that sounds painful coming out of your mouth. You don't need to pretend you still party 5 nights a week when your knees sound like microwave popcorn getting out of bed. Women are not secretly hoping older men behave like immature boys. What women often love is masculine maturity, a man who knows how to lead without controlling, a man who listens without becoming weak, a man who can flirt without being creepy, a man who understands emotional tension instead of rushing everything. That last part matters more than you think. A lot of men sabotage attraction because they rush. They rush conversations. Rush intimacy, rush emotional connection, rush reassurance, but attraction grows in space. You know what drives women crazy sometimes? Anticipation. A confident older man understands pacing. He's not trying to force chemistry in 5 minutes like he's speedrunning romance. He knows how to enjoy the interaction, and women can feel that patience. There's also another thing older men often have that younger men haven't developed yet: presence. Real presence. Not fake alpha energy, not motivational speaker energy. Presence. The ability to fully pay attention. You'd be shocked how attractive it is when a man genuinely listens instead of waiting for his turn to talk. Most people today are distracted every 7 seconds, phones buzzing, notifications, ego, attention spans destroyed. So when a man looks at a woman like she actually matters in that moment, that's rare, and rarity creates value. Women remember how men make them feel emotionally. They remember the atmosphere around him. Was he tense? Was he needy? Was he trying too hard? Or did he make her feel comfortable, feminine, relaxed, playful, desired? That emotional experience matters more than perfect looks. Now, obviously, attraction is physical too. Let's not pretend looks don't matter at all. They do. But men massively underestimate how attractive self-care becomes as they age. You don't need to look 25. You just need to look healthy, sharp, and intentional. A man in his 50s who dresses well, smells good, stays active, takes care of his skin, and carries himself confidently can easily appear more attractive than a younger man who looks exhausted and emotionally chaotic. And honestly, the bar is lower than most men think. Some guys act like becoming attractive requires becoming a millionaire ninja philosopher with six-pack abs carved by ancient Greek gods. Meanwhile, half the battle is literally sleep properly, wear clothes that actually fit. Fix your posture. Stop complaining constantly. Develop a life outside chasing women. That alone already separates you from a huge percentage of men. And here's something women rarely say out loud. A lot of women are deeply attracted to emotional safety. Not safe as in boring, safe as in she doesn't feel judged around you. She doesn't feel manipulated. She doesn't feel like she has to constantly perform perfection to keep your attention. Older men who are secure in themselves often create that feeling naturally. And ironically, that emotional safety often creates stronger passion too. Because when a woman feels relaxed emotionally, she becomes more open emotionally. That's why some men can create chemistry without saying anything outrageous. Their energy feels solid, grounded, predictable in a good way, not emotionally unstable one minute and cold the next. And let's talk about humor for a second, because this matters way more than men think. A man who can laugh at himself is incredibly attractive. You know what screams insecurity? A guy who gets defensive over every tiny joke or disagreement, but an older man who's comfortable enough to smile, tease back, and stay playful, that's confidence. Humor lowers tension. It creates connection. It shows social intelligence. And honestly, a man who can make a woman genuinely laugh already has an advantage over men trying too hard to impress her. Now, here's where things get interesting. Women are often drawn to men who have emotional depth without emotional chaos. That distinction matters. Some men think being emotionally attractive means trauma dumping on date number one like it's a therapy speedrun. No, emotional maturity means understanding your emotions without making them everyone else's responsibility. An older man who's done inner work becomes incredibly attractive because he's not reacting from ego all the time. He doesn't need to dominate every conversation. He doesn't need constant reassurance. He's not threatened by a strong woman. He's comfortable enough to let her shine too. And women notice that immediately. Because secure masculinity feels different. It feels calm, clear, steady. You know what else secretly attracts women? A man who has purpose beyond relationships. A lot of men accidentally make women the center of their emotional universe. That creates pressure. But a man with goals, routines, passions, friendships, discipline, and direction feels alive. Women don't just want attention. They want to feel connected to a man who's connected to himself. That's powerful. And honestly, some older men become more attractive specifically because life humbled them. They've experienced heartbreak, failure, loss, growth. That creates depth, and depth creates presence. A younger guy might try to impress a woman with potential. An older man often attracts women through emotional substance. That's different. And look, this doesn't mean every older man automatically becomes attractive with age. Absolutely not. Some men age physically while staying emotionally immature forever. That's why bitterness kills attraction fast. Constant negativity, complaining about women nonstop, acting cynical all the time, blaming the world for every failed relationship. That energy pushes people away. But a man who stays curious, emotionally intelligent, playful, disciplined, and self-aware as he ages, that man becomes magnetic because attraction isn't just about appearance, it's about emotional experience. Women want to feel good around you. They want to feel tension, safety, fun, confidence, emotional steadiness, and authenticity all at once. And older men who understand that stop chasing approval. That's usually when they become the most attractive version of themselves. So if you're a man getting older, stop assuming your best years are behind you. For a lot of men, their most attractive years actually begin when they stop trying so hard to prove themselves. That's when the voice gets calmer, the confidence gets quieter, the presence gets stronger, and the connection with women becomes real instead of performative. Because at the end of the day, women don't secretly love certain older men because of age alone. They love the energy of a man who finally knows who he is. And honestly, that kind of confidence never goes out of style. If this made you think a little differently about attraction, relationships, or confidence, stick around. There's a lot more nobody teaches men about how connection actually works.